Hey guys, what's going on? Good morning. Welcome to our morning note. It is February 25th, a Tuesday. I'm back for live morning note. No jury duty for me this time. I'm happy to be back. Thank God. Okay, rock and roll. Let's talk about the markets. Dow futures up 126, Nasdaq up 74, S&P up 15 handles at 32.41. Nice little bounce back. We kind of expected that for the most part. Bitcoin is down slightly. Gold is down pretty big. Let's see. The crude is down flat, and the dollar's flat for the most part. And VIX is down about 8%. So it could be just buy the dip, relief rally like we talked about. We knew there was going to be a little bit of a relief rally, and we expected that. So let's go ahead and take a look at some pre-market movers together. If I can find it. Market Watch, pre-market mover. Let's go ahead and get to it. Okay, big mover is Moderna because they have probably a vaccine being created for the coronavirus. Movers, AMD's back up about 3%. Macy's is up about 1%. Micron is actually red when the market's green. That's not a good sign. Apple is up about 1%. Microsoft up about 1.7%. Roku's up about 3%. Nvidia up 1.2%. Tesla up 1.5%. Beyond up 1.64. What else do we got? And Gilead is basically flat, but they've had some nice volume. So AMD's a big mover and shaker today. So let's kind of take a look at some movements here that are going to probably be some bounce back plays. Let's go ahead and take a look at that together. Apple, you kind of see need to break out above this 304.41 range. If we do, we can go ahead and see if we can get some calls. I actually bought the stock right around 300, which is the exact price I wanted. So I'm pretty happy about that. Nvidia, we have some calls for the group, so we're watching that. Space reports today after the bell, Virgin Galactic. It is up very nicely pre-market. Looks like we're going to get that return back, bounce above the 50-day moving average. 38.97 needs to break. I have a target of 42 on that, which is the recent highs. Next, SPY. SPY kind of dipped a little bit. We're up 100 points on the Dow, but again, we were at the highs yesterday evening. We're up like 200 points in the Dow, but a little bit of flat now, so no biggie. I do own one futures contract on MES, micro E-mini futures, and it's falling slightly. So there we go. All right. Good morning, everybody. Yo, called puts out last week. Awesome. Good morning, brother. Good morning. Baba. Any opinion on NIO? So let's go over Baba. Baba here, since the questions are flowing in now. Baba looks like it bounced off that heavy support of around 203. We could gap fill to that 212 level, but I would target 216. I just don't think we're there yet. Maybe break 210.95 before you get into anything on calls on Baba. NIO, now everyone's going to talk about NIO because they're boosting today. I had to look at the headlines. But it is a breakout. Again, just be very careful. This one's a very volatile one. If you do decide to play it, you have to be very, very careful. Go very light on your position. Maybe if you recapture the new highs around $5.30, you could probably play, some plays for this week. Maybe the 5.5s, just an example. But I'm not really crazy about it unless there's a lot of volume. Apple, I just talked about it. I have an alert at Apple here. Apple needs to break 304.42, so we can target 310. Nvidia, yep, we have some calls on there. It's going to break right around 280, and then we should gap fill at 292. Microsoft, let's take a look at Microsoft. Microsoft, we're still kind of chilling here. Same thing as Apple. Needs to break 174.47. So let's go ahead and put an alert there together. 174.47. If we break that level, 174.47. If we break that level to the upside, which will be that fib here, then we can gap fill to around 178, 180. So the 180 calls could be nice. MCD, here's on fire with his questions. MCD, kind of rangy for the most part. If you did want to play it, you'd have to kind of go above 217.08. I own the stock, so I've been rolling with this stock for a while. AAL, which is American Airlines. AAL. Pretty ugly, broke support. I wouldn't want to touch this one. If anything, you have to break about 27.73 before you do anything. I'm not even going to put an alert because I don't trade it. Amazon, embarrassed these 2 weeks. Okay, just keep in mind, Amazon doesn't have any China exposure. They're right there, kind of like Microsoft and Apple. They're right there at that fib line. They should be able to gap up to the to that gap fill at 2100. So if you break 20, 35, 80, so let's go and put that level 20, 35, 80, which is that fib. If you break that, then I would take a look at, guys, at maybe targeting the 2100s for that gap fill. Facebook, I actually have some puts on it that we signaled because we sliced through that support, and we do have some calls. So for me, Facebook is a nice insurance policy because Facebook has been underperforming big cap tech. And if I look at the daily, you could see that support being broken, and it is touching that 100-day moving average. So I still like Facebook to the downside. I own the stock. I don't plan on selling, obviously, but I still like it as insurance. Remember, we had insurance last week on SPY puts and Q puts, and we rolled with it, and it paid us out 300% on SPY. So smart. AMD, I've already spoke about, but I'll go over it again. AMD, we're right at that fib. You can try to test that gap fill around 53. That'd be a nice little play. I put an alert there, but we're right here at 50.70. Let's see if it holds up and breaks 51.15. If it breaks 51.15, 51.16, then I would take a look at maybe going to 53. I already talked about Facebook. Bearish is 2 weeks. MU is actually red. So again, I don't like the fact that they're red in a green market. But again, same thing. If you start breaking down 52.70, then you're going to buy some puts. If you start breaking about 55.46, then you can gap fill to around 57. And Square. Square reports on Wednesday, just a heads up. Square has been relatively kind of holding up. It is green pre-market, but it needs to break that 100-day moving average right around 82.59. I own some of the 90 calls just for the earnings. I thought we were going to get that break. Obviously, with this big red candle, kind of killed us. But again, I'm still holding it, and I think I'm still bullish on it. A lot of questions. I feel like I'm doing the what is it called? The lightning round again. MU was downgraded. That makes sense. SWKS. Skyworks Solutions. Skyworks, I don't trade in options. I don't think they have a lot of volume, but it did break support right around 112.82, and looks like it's recapturing. ES is kind of fading slightly. Nothing crazy. Expedia and Intel. Expedia, I have not traded. See Expedia. I don't know the ticker for Expedia, guys, so you don't have to give it to me. Yeah, EXPE, there you go. Nice little fall here. Looks like it's right at the 200-day. I just don't trade it, but if you want to own it, I'm okay with you owning Expedia. Intel is actually very cheap in my opinion. It's the cheapest of the chip makers. So just based on that valuation, I like it long term. I don't own it, but you can see just like other chip makers, they gap down. Plug, I traded it once and I made money, but I can't say that I traded anymore. Again, just another one of those volatile momentum names like Virgin Galactic in space, broke above the 100-day moving average. Could be interesting. Again, could not. You could see maybe if you break 578, you could probably play some calls to $6. Snap, I don't touch Snap. Snap sucks. Let me make that perfect clear. Snap sucks. I would stay away. I'm not even going to waste my time. That's what happens when you get jury duty questions hot and heavy. Yeah, go ahead and send the bill to the jury. That's what I would say, or to the courthouse. Thanks about talking for it. I know you've been riding the wave. Bought some 4 calls last week in the money. Hey, you're welcome. Absolutely, you're welcome. I didn't say anything about an IO to get in. I mean, if you like it, own it, of course. But it's volatile as hell, man. If you can ride the wave, by all means. All right. So I guess that's where we're there. All right. I got to get back to my team, guys. Have a great rest of your morning. Thank you so much for joining. Make sure to like and subscribe our videos. I'll get back with you tomorrow on our morning note. Have a great one, guys. I'm going to have my coffee for the day. Enjoy and have a profitable, very profitable Tuesday.